something just hit me about where I was going with that finance thing. And I was like, oh yeah, this. Because I think this was something I came up with when I was offline. Is that because of, the right was right about children. We were the ones saying, no, there's not enough people. What are you talking about? Like, do you actually know the birth rates that are happening planet-wide? And now there's the thing of Liu Wen, I believe her name is. I think Wen is what she goes by. Wen or Wei? Oh no. I know her channel will come up again. That she's been covering. Okay, she did this fantastic thing of India at this stage said it had this growth rate. They now have this many people. China said they had this growth rate at this time, but they say they should have this many people, and then she's going through all this data that would confirm it. And she's been going through all this. How many people does China have? Finding out that no, China actually has about a third less of the people than they say they have. So one of the things about this would be, if say you were thinking like, oh well, investing, they're doing fine. In 20 years they'll be doing even better. But then you find out they've been lying about how many people there are. In 20 years they're going to be full out of replacement population. In fact, what this would mean is what we're seeing now across many, many markets. Demand collapse. Demand collapse in housing. Demand collapse in automobiles. I can tell you that in the realm of groceries, there is a demand collapse. Older people don't eat as much stuff as they used to. They don't have children to feed who devour tremendous amounts of calories. There's not the children to demand the calories. Then there's also the thing of generational changes in how people are starting to eat. That one, we'll see how that pans out. But there's just simply not the type of, the number of young people that you could have, the type of youth cultural activities, food products and services. Like a Chuck E. Cheese now, what the fuck would they do? What could Chuck E. Cheese do to stay open nowadays? Whoa, here's a nice one. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's fantastic. That's very well done. Oh, Lazar's Bazaar. So, then I started to think, okay, then you get this problem. Okay, so places have bonded indebtedness for 20, 30, 40 years. That it takes kind of that long to pay off something that was like a big project of like during a 10-year period, and so who's going to be these people who are going to live in that place to pay off that bonded indebtedness? Then there is the whole reason why you even have the appraisal of properties, because you're going to have taxes that go toward the school system. Why have a school system, and why have the whole appraisal system if you don't have children where you live to go to the schools? So then, what are the politicians? Who's going to pay them? how's this even going to work? This is now like real deal Holyfield, a multi-generational problem for many cities. Many states are going to have a problem for a long time with this, because where are the people supposed to come from? Clearly, some element of the politicians understood, we know where we could get people. We know how to get more people. They were even extending housing loans. You know, there's illegal immigrants who got Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac backed mortgages and stuff like that. So there was obviously some understanding of, yeah, there's a way of solving this crisis. Because key to it is that you have the commerce to take the cream off of. So you could be like, oh, we're using that for something valuable for the homeless. We're using it to help the homeless. So there were a number of things that were coming together that it could have been continued on, but the thing is, you would have to have replaced the white population and the black population with people from other parts of the world. Period. That's the only way it could have worked, because it would have taken them 2 generations to catch up to how the debt-based system really works. They would have then understood how they had gotten roped into it, and they would be living in places that they no longer really had sort of truly rights in. You know, you could lock them down anytime you want. If somebody has the sniffles, nobody can leave their home. Yeah, and also that idea that it would have been one party rule was also the goal, and so and even to the point that there was obviously clearly evidence that the Democrats were aiming to pull legal chicanery so that you would end up having the like this idea that you could actually kind of go after members of the Republican Party or people who voted that way. They were trying to figure out ways of pulling that off, and so it was it's. I'm now, I'm the immensity of sort of how we're stuck in a way. It's a big deal. We are pretty stuck right now. We are going to have a moment where we're kind of going to be making motherfuckers work. I mean, we're going to be making them work. And it's going to hurt. Nobody's feeling pain yet. Nobody is really feeling pain yet. And it's going to be fascinating to see how that goes. Also, there's a lot of corporations that they're going to get sorted out by the federal government because they're rife. They're still doing DEI. They're rife with it. They're having their own problems, actually, like getting things. They're having their own problems because of just problems with generally the market, just in general. But then it becomes, not only that, but you then have this company that, are your people creative enough that you can figure out what to do? Are your people creative enough for that? And I think more and more we're going to just see, no, not really. These companies are going to, at some point, like, hey, who knows what? But a lot of, that's why they're firing so many people. And then we got that. Okay. financing hiring lots of people when you didn't appear to need them in the first place. And that's its own thing that's going to shine through. You know, these companies had to make payroll, so they had to have somebody finance them, and finance all this payroll for people who didn't end up providing really remunerative services and providing products that got them the revenues that they could then keep these people in the fucking business. So it is going to be its own problem, that there's going to be, and how it's going to ripple through everything, I don't even know. I don't understand that level of it. When you got finance and people financing the financiers, and they're like, this is a sure thing, this business is going to be great. You sell people this, and then they're on the app, and then they go to the app, and you know, they do the thing, and they click a photo, and they do this, and well, we'll see how it goes. All right, talk to you guys later.